Hey, welcome. Vlog number 35 on this Sunday evening, was it 15th of January, right? Yeah. 15th of January 2012. Um, well, first of all, I wanted to say that this vlog is actually a video response to George4Title, the Survive and Thrive TV YouTube channel that I probably, I don't know, maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, maybe a month or so ago, subscribed to, and he talks about a wide range of things. But gonna I'm gonna make this into a vlog for my own channel, but I'm also gonna make this a video response um, to his vlog about how do you have an intimate relationship with a non quote unquote truther. Um, and this is something I definitely can attest to because I've been married for just under a year. I've been together with my current wife for man, it's already been over 8.5 years. It'll be 9 years in June 6th, and so I have experience with this. I'll mind you that my eyes were not awake, were not opened. I didn't take the red pill, blah, 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 blah. Probably until about maybe 3 years into our relationship when I was really starting to research things. About 3 years into our relationship, 2.5, 3 years, which is very detrimental because after 6 months of dating long distance, I moved down to Southern California, moved in with her. And the first 2 years are hard because you're trying to learn how to live with somebody and somebody new, and it's an adjustment period. You're fighting about money, you're fighting about little things that irk you about her and things that irk her about me. So yeah, I mean, when we got together, she knew who I was. I was very much. I was honestly, when we first got together, I was pretty much just a straight up anarchist. Um, didn't believe in the system. Didn't really, just said, all politicians are the same, so on and so forth. And I still hold those beliefs for the most part. Um, but things have kind of changed. I've kind of gotten more aware about the modes of control and so on and so forth. So, but George was talking on his vlog about how um, he suggests that you put a lot of that information that you gain, that you want to share, on the shelf, and not really um, and not really interject it with your significant other. And I think honestly, I mean, if it's working for him, that's great. But I really think that if you know this information, you should try to share it. And depending on how much tact you have, it might come across as, um, how should I say this? It might come across more like you're more concerned rather than you're trying to beat it over someone's head and to educate them. You're just planting, like Bill Hicks says, just planting seeds. Um, that's the way we should, as people who are aware of the information that a large majority of the population do not know about. We should be planting seeds rather than saying, you will believe me, you will listen to me, and beating it over the head. Now, when I was learning the information, such as 9/11 Truth, about Bilderberg Group, about just various different quote unquote conspiracy theories, I was, 23, but I was between 23 and 25 years old. Um, well, 23, 25, 26 years old. So I was still kind of figuring out how to win people over. When you're young, you have fire in your heart. That's why when I was really young, I was an anarchist, and I still am an individual. I mean, I do believe in anarchism as an individual first and foremost, but you kind of learn how to win people over to your side. And when it comes down to somebody like your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, so on and so forth, I think it's important that when you first start the relationship, that you don't focus entirely on your interests, especially the knowledge you've gained. I mean, I don't think you should go in and on a first date and start talking about chemtrails. It's just something. It's not an icebreaker kind of question. You do let them know that you are politically aware and you do research things, and maybe one night we could sit down and watch Endgame, or we can watch the Obama deception, or we can watch What in the World Did I Spring. And I mean, the bottom line is that you need to let, in my experience, you need to let the other person know who you are, and not necessarily hide this side from them. Because if they truly like you as a person and they truly are interested in you, they'll accept you for who you are. I mean, obviously, if they can't accept that you question 9/11, then screw them. I mean, they're not right for you. You can't just put your belief system on a shelf, because the bottom line is you might spend the rest of your life with this person, have children with this person. Imagine getting married and having a child or children with somebody who does not know your personal beliefs on vaccines, even though you went deep and down inside don't believe that vaccinating your children is something you want done. But then when it comes down to it, I mean, you're going to butt heads. It might come out all of a sudden that you think, hey, we shouldn't be vaccinating our child, and you never talked about this. So I think putting it on the shelf is not the right thing. I also don't think that you should make it all about your interest and bash them over the head, because believe me, I did that in the beginning of our relationship, and I'm probably quite lucky that my wife loved me as much as she did, and she does, and can accept me and my beliefs. When I moved in, my wife was a diehard Democrat who, I mean, there's a Barbara Boxer sticker when she was running for Senate quite a long time ago, probably in like the early 90s over there. I'm not a fan of Barbara Boxer by no means, but over the time, she kind of got to see my point, and I kind of, although I could have probably done it better, because like I said, I was young and was full of fire and anger, I got her to take a look at the information. And today, she pretty much supports people like Ron Paul and Gary Johnson. She's very anti-government. She doesn't trust a damn thing that the government says, as I hope most people shouldn't trust their government, because the majority of things they tell us are lies, but you already know that. At least I hope you do. Now, as far as what George was saying in the video about being into things that she's into or things that he's into, if you're a female truther, which truther, I don't necessarily like to use the word truther. I think truther, it's kind of, it's just someone who's historically aware, or if you want to go in the route of like people like Jack Blood says that he's, deprogrammed, because we're all programmed to believe a certain way growing up. I don't think, I don't think that it should be all about you and what you like, and screw everything she likes. Obviously, there is a time to spread the information. There's a time to gain the information. I don't think that it should all be one-sided. I mean, that's just common sense in a relationship. But the bottom line, to respond to that whole that whole argument that George was saying about how, it's best to put your ideas on the shelf and, let it kind of come out. Not really, and it really didn't seem like he was like saying, you should let your significant other bring it out for you, or, out of, it just basically put it on the shelf and kind of like what she likes, and that's not what I think we should do. But I don't know necessarily where else to go with this. I mean, we could talk about how how it affects our friends, and I think that is something that needs to be addressed as well. Is that friends? I think you have a bigger chance of losing people in contact with people in your life, more on the friends note rather than the intimate partner person, because like I said, hopefully he or she will love you no matter what you believe, but you may lose friends because of your belief structure. I mean, I've lost, and I know this for a fact, I've lost a ton of friends because of how I believe. People that like sports and live for sports, I've aired out my, objection to the whole macho, beer drinking football fan kind of attitude of people. Yeah, my team is so cool, and I kind of say, sports is just so mean. There's more life in sports, and I kind of lose friends. I lose friends based off of, and that's just something that's it is the way it is. If you're going to hold ideas and opinions that are not mainstream, you're going to lose. There's a lot of people who don't want to be confronted with this information. They want people to think just like them, and they're not going to become your friend, and you're going to lose friends. Now, there might be friends of yours that might not necessarily agree with your belief, but will still hang out with you, and that's cool too. But be prepared if you are going to pursue the truth about the world we live in. If you're going to spend time not watching TV, and believe me, I watch TV with my wife, and you don't have to be on your soapbox all the time, bottom line. So you can sit down and watch reality TV. If your wife likes it, doesn't make her a drone. She's into it. She's also hopefully aware of what else is going on in the world. It's priorities, people. It's what you find that are your priorities. And just because you are awake doesn't mean that you have to absolutely stay away from it. You understand how the matrix works, so to speak, so you don't get sucked into it. You can actually learn a lot from watching and experiencing the matrix and how it works. And you kind of, it's like a self-education, you're educating yourself on how the world works. I feel like I'm rambling, and I am. I just want to basically say that, what George said on his video, it's true. We need to find a balance, but I don't think putting your values and your belief structure on a shelf because it's going to be inconveniencing your relationship is the smart thing to do, because it basically makes you come across as being fake and phony, and you need to be real with who you are going to possibly marry, because in the future it might come back and bite you in the ass. So that's the bottom line to it. Hope you got something out of me rambling here. I'll talk to you guys later. Adios. Don't fall over now.